The next president of South Africa, Steenhuisen, viva! Hoza, Steenhuisen, hoza! Pambili, Steenhuisen, pambili! Pambili, Steenhuisen, pambili! Ayaya, Steenhuisen, ayaya! Hoza, Tiago, hoza! Baba, Tiago, baba!
Sanibonani, Soweto! Everyone having a good time? Everyone ready for change? Are you ready to rescue South Africa? So can't wait. 20 days to go, Democrats, 20 days. And then you and me and all of the people in this room and all of the Democrats from around the country are going to bring the change that South Africa needs. Are you excited? I'm very excited. It's great to be with you here today in Soweto. This is the heartbeat of that big South African culture. Now, as you know, over the last few months, I've been traveling around the country, taking our rescue tour to the towns and cities across the length and breadth of South Africa. But I couldn't think of a better place to end the tour than right here in Gauteng and right here in Soweto. Because I know that on the 29th of May, Gauteng is going to supercharge the election here, and we're going to get Cyril Ramaphosa in as our premier here in Gauteng. Now this metro and this province has suffered for far too long under the maladministration and corruption of this government. Panzi Amasela, Panzi. Now, Democrats, last Sunday, I launched a TV ad that showed the people of South Africa what dysfunction looks like when a government fails, and what will happen to our beautiful country if our voters don't come out on election day to come and vote for our future. It has already become the most successful political ad in our democratic history. Over 4 million views over the last few days alone. 4 million. We symbolized in that advert that on the line in this election is our flag, is our constitution, is our country, is our economy, and is our future. The piece delivered a powerful wake-up call to voters. It said to them, if you stay at home on election day, if you split the DA's vote on election day, then a doomsday coalition between the ANC and the EFF will turn our country to ashes. Do we want that? We don't want that. We don't want that. And that advert isn't everybody talking. For the last week, it's all anybody's talking about, the DA's advert. And the prospect of seeing our beautiful flag and all that it symbolizes go down in flames has grabbed the attention of the country. And it is important because this election on the 29th of May is going to be the most important election in our democratic history. And let me tell you, we're going to make history on that day because we're going to vote them out and we're going to vote a new government in. You see, in this election, the ANC will lose its majority. But you know as well as I do that they'll do anything to stay in power. Imagine a coalition between the ANC and the EFF at a national level. Imagine how loud life would be. And so, Democrats, friends, this election is about survival. It's about whether our democracy survives, it's about whether our economy survives, and it's about whether our future survives here in South Africa. But you would know that the advert didn't end there, because the end of the advert had our flag coming back together, restored in its beautiful glory. And look at that beautiful flag. It is a beautiful flag. It was restored in its full glory. And the symbolism of that was that if you don't want to see our flag and our country burned to ashes, well, then you've got to vote on election day for the DA. It says it very clearly there. On election day, you've got to vote for the DA. Because a strong DA can rescue South Africa. Now, if voters were under any illusion just how bad things would get under a doomsday coalition, the ANC have confirmed their intentions through the hysteria in response to the advert. In desperation to defend their plan to form a government with the EFF, Cyril Ramaphosa, you know, the man who sometimes masquerades as the President of the Republic of South Africa. Yeah, Mr. Phala Phala, that's right. Whoever said that, get him a bells.
Mr. Matras.
Yeah, Mr. Matras. He tried to label our message as treason. He said it was treason. Now, it's funny that he had used this word to defend his plans for an EFF-ANC doomsday coalition. Because if there's one person in this country who is guilty of treason against the people of South Africa, then that person is Cyril Ramaphosa. He committed treason against our flag when he helped Jacob Zuma loot our country and give it over to the Guptas. He committed treason against our flag when he chaired the cadre deployment committee that deployed all the cadres to Eskom and the state-owned entities. He committed treason against our flag when he took thousands and thousands of undeclared dollars and stuffed them under his couch. He committed treason against our flag when he pushed 12 million of our citizens into the unemployment queue. And he committed treason against our flag while our children starve and he flies above the country with 139 million rands worth of meals on the presidential jet. That is treason. That is treason. Ramaphosa and the ANC are the real traitors against South Africa because they've betrayed you, they've betrayed me, and they've betrayed our country now for 30 years. For 30 years, they've betrayed the hopes and dreams of the people of Soweto. They promise every election that they're going to be houses built here in Soweto. But the only thing that gets built is mansions for the ministers. And our people still sit today with no houses. For long years, they've defiled the memory of Vilakazi Street by enriching themselves while our people starve every single day. Over the past 5 years, they've bought 50 new luxury vehicles, but at the same time have destroyed the trains and the buses that our people need to take to work. They use taxpayers' money to pay for diesel in the generators in their homes, while Umama and Ogogo get attacked in the dark because there's load shedding and the criminals come out. And we're here today to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. And if you are in any doubt about how scared the ANC are about what you and I and South Africa are going to do to them on the 29th of May. Just look at what happened over the last 2 weeks. After the DA exposed the fact that South Africa's economy was on fire, our unemployment rate was on fire, that our children's future was on fire, they immediately threatened to ban our advert. They know that they're going to lose power. So I can give you some breaking news here. You're the first people to hear it in the whole country. We got a letter today from the SABC. And they said that they are now going to ban our advert on SABC. They said they're going to ban our advert because they've noted what the president and the minister have said about the advert. So these ANC deployees at the SABC are saying because the ANC president and the ANC minister doesn't like our advert, they're not going to show it to South Africa. They are banning the advert because they know it tells the truth about the ANC. They are banning the advert because they don't want you to see what is really happening in South Africa. And they are banning the advert because they are scared of you. They are terrified of the voters. So let me tell you that we're not going to let the censorship slide, and our lawyers are already briefed to get out there and challenge this censorship. Because South Africa is a democracy, the last time I looked. And the last time I read the Constitution, it said something about freedom of speech. But we know the ANC doesn't like freedom of speech, which is why the president sent the State Security Agency to the SABC when he didn't like what the head of news was putting on there. It's why Zizi Kodwa is going to use your money to try and stop a DA advert that tells the truth from being shown. And so, if we leave it to these amasela, our country will burn. Our people's future will burn. And we will have nothing left. But Democrats, we're not going to let that happen, are we? We're not going to let it happen. Because the vanguard of democracy in South Africa is the Democratic Alliance. The vanguard of freedom in South Africa is the Democratic Alliance. And the vanguard of economic freedom in this country is the Democratic Alliance. And we're not going to sit back and watch these thieves and traitors and treasonists steal our democracy away from us. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to all of us, united in our diversity. And you know, there's some who say, this thing about doomsday, it is just fear-mongering. The people in Johannesburg know that it's not fear-mongering because the people in Johannesburg are living the doomsday already. You're living under the doomsday already. You've got buildings that burn and burn people inside of them. You've got roads that are blowing up and destroying infrastructure. You've got no water in your taps. You've got no electricity in your homes. That is the doomsday. And we need to tell South Africa here from Soweto today that we're not going to let this happen anywhere else in the country, and that we're coming to liberate Johannesburg from the ANC. We're going to liberate Soweto. We're going to liberate every part of the country. So I want to make you a pledge today, Soweto, and I want to make a pledge to you, Johannesburg, and I want to make a pledge to you, Gauteng. We've already tabled motions to dissolve the council, but we're going to continue to make sure that we dissolve this terrible Johannesburg council that's not delivering and put in a new election so we can have a council that works for the people and not for the politicians. And when Solium Zamanga is sitting there as the premier of this province, he's not going to turn a blind eye to Johannesburg. He's going to use the powers of the province and the national counterparts to get things fixed here in Johannesburg because the locals cannot.
Hey.
So as we enter the final weeks of this campaign, 20 days to go, Democrats, we've got to stay energized. Are you energized? I'm feeling energized. I'm ready for that change. I can taste that change. I can smell that change. I can feel that change. Can you feel it? I can feel it. We've got to take our message now, Democrats, to every corner of Soweto and every corner of Gauteng. And that message is change. And we've got to be the evangelists for change across the country. So this is what I mean when I say we're on a rescue mission. We're on a mission to rescue South Africa. Only a new government anchored by a strong DA can rescue Gauteng. Only a new government anchored by a strong DA can rescue our country. And only a new government anchored by a strong DA can rescue you and your family's future. So to the people of Soweto, I'm here to tell you tonight, the ANC are going to take your vote and they will give it to the EFF. And we don't want that. We don't want violence. We don't want destruction. We want democracy. In this election, a vote for the ANC is a vote for the EFF, and a vote for the PA is a vote for the ANC. So don't believe them when they come and tell you that you're voting for them. You're voting for the doomsday coalition of corruption if you vote for those parties. But even if you voted for the ANC before, even if in the last election you voted for the ANC, in this election, I need you to give the DA your vote so that we can spend the next 5 years showing you that we are worthy of your vote.
Yes.
Working for you, not for politicians. Making sure you are served, not the politicians, and making sure this government works. So, if you want a South Africa with a future, if you dream today in this hall of the home, if you dream of a safe community for you to raise your family, if you dream of good public transport, of clinics and hospitals that heal the sick, if you dream about a good school for your children, and if you want to dream about a job that'll give you enough money so that you can retire in comfort, well, then you've got to vote for the DA.
Yes.
Because the DA has the only proven track record of creating jobs. If you want a job, you've got to vote for the DA. But it doesn't end there. Because a vote for the DA is an end to load shedding and water shedding. A vote for the DA is to halve the rate of violent crime and get gender-based violence off our streets. A vote for the DA is a vote to abolish cadre deployment and ensure fair access to jobs for everybody. A vote for the DA will lift 6 million people out of poverty. A vote for the DA will triple the number of grade 6 learners that can read for meaning. And a vote for the DA means quality health care for all South Africans, regardless of your status. And this is what we can give the people of Gauteng, the people of Soweto, and the rest of South Africa in this election. A government that works for you. So our vision is to restore that great South African dream, to make our flag proud of the country that it flies above, and to prevent the destruction and burning that we see on a daily basis. The DA is the only party with a track record. It is also the only party with the policies. And most importantly, it is the only party with the people to get things done.
Yes.
And so, I'm going to now invite our provincial leadership and our candidates in this election to come and join me on the stage so that you can see the blue team that's going to work for you to rescue this country. Let's give them a round of applause. as they come up. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. If you want a big, strong party to anchor a new government to rescue Gauteng, then you have to vote for the... If you want that same strong party to anchor a new national government to rescue South Africa, then you have to vote for the... And if you want to prevent the Doomsday Coalition getting in at a national level and protecting your future, then you have to vote for the DA. Because only a strong DA can rescue South Africa. Democrats, we can do it. We can do it on the 29th of May. We must do it. And together, we will do it. Viva DA, viva! Viva DA, viva!
DA!